Villela da Matta, sou o fundador e presidente da Sociedade Brasileira de Coaching e hoje eu estou aqui em San Diego, Califórnia, para apresentar uma das maiores autoridades no mundo do coaching, Brian Tracy.
Olá, eu sou Flora Victoria, vice-presidente e cofundadora da Sociedade Brasileira de Coaching. Estou aqui na sede da Brian Tracy International para entrevistar uma das grandes autoridades, um dos maiores palestrantes de todos os tempos, autor de mais de 50 livros, Brian Tracy.
Well, thank you, and it's a great pleasure to be with you. And it's a great pleasure to be working with the people of Brazil, because Brazil is now becoming one of the most important countries in the world, with unlimited opportunity for individuals and businesses to grow and to become more successful as long as they have the right coaching and the right guidance and the right direction. So it's an honor to be working with you in this area.
Great. Brian, realmente é um grande prazer estar aqui com você e eu gostaria que você fizesse uma rápida apresentação sua para o nosso público lá do Brasil.
Well, thank you. Obrigado. I did not graduate from high school, and I worked at laboring jobs for several years until I got into sales and then into business. And I began asking, why are some people more successful than others? And I began to ask successful people, and I began to read their books and listen to their audios, and I found that successful people do things differently from unsuccessful people. So I began a lifelong course of study to find out what successful people do in sales, in business, in marketing, leadership, management, and coaching, and then I began to practice these ideas, and I became far more successful. And I began to teach these ideas to others, and they became more successful. So my big discovery was that you can learn anything you need to learn to become more successful in any field.
Wow. So, Brian, com tantos anos de experiência, você está nos contando o seu segredo de sucesso. E você é um empresário muito bem-sucedido.
The big secret for success for me was to have very clear goals. I think my favorite word in success is the word clarity. Clarity. Is successful people are very clear about their strengths, and they're very clear about their goals, and they have written plans, and they work on their goals every day. Unsuccessful people are not clear, and as a result, they waste a lot of time, and they are frustrated and unsuccessful. So I've spent my life teaching now more than 5 million people how to become clear about what they want to accomplish and then to take the steps necessary for success. A second secret of success is to focus on the most important things that you can do all the time. Most people waste most of their time doing things of low value when there are only 2 or 3 things of high value in any field or any business. And those 2 or 3 things get results that are 10 or 20 times greater. Wow. So number 1 is to have clear goals, and number 2 is to focus on getting the most important results.
Great.
Wow.
Great.
Secrets.
E Brian, você está no mercado há mais de 20 anos, mais de 30 anos no mercado. Só existe boas recomendações de você e do seu trabalho pela imprensa de uma forma geral e na internet. Qual que seria a sua grande vantagem competitiva nesse mercado tão grande que é o dos Estados Unidos?
Well, this is a good question. When I began, I had a clear strategy. And the strategy was to teach practical ideas that people could use immediately to get better results. I have taken now thousands of hours of university courses, and so much is theory. It's very nice ideas, but not practical. Mm-hmm. And what I like very much about your approach to this business is that you and I both teach things that are very practical. Person can use them immediately and get better results. Yeah. It's almost like touching an electric wire. You immediately get a result. So that's my competitive advantage. I think this is our competitive advantage.
Perfect.
Yeah. And, sabendo que você já impactou milhares e milhares de pessoas no mundo inteiro, qual você acha que é a sua maior contribuição para essas pessoas?
Well, I always see myself as a salesman. And my job in speaking is to make one sale, and that is to sell people on themselves. To sell people the idea that they have far greater potential than they have ever used. And then to show them that by using specific tools and ideas, they can unlock their potential and grow their business 5 or 10 times, grow their income 5 or 10 times, that they can move into the top 10% of people in our society if they do the same things that those people do over and over again. And people who come out of my seminars are suddenly aware that they can accomplish far more than they ever believed possible.
Brian, você poderia nos dar um rápido conselho para qualquer pessoa que queira conquistar mais na sua vida pessoal e profissional, que queira realizar mais e que por alguma razão não esteja conseguindo?
Well, they say that there are only 2 secrets to success. Number 1 is to begin, to get started. And it takes 95% of your energy to start something new, to begin in the first place. And secret number 2 is to continue, to persist, to never quit. And what we find is there's a direct relationship between activity and success. Successful people are very active. They're constantly busy. They are trying new things. They are learning faster.
And non-stop.
And non-stop. And so, get started, work non-stop, and never give up.
Never give up. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Vamos falar agora sobre business coaching. Brian, você poderia nos explicar o que é business coaching e para que serve?
Well, the most important piece of advice I ever learned was from a senior businessman many years ago. And he said the key to success is to learn from the experts. He said, you will never live long enough to learn everything by yourself. And in business coaching, you work with an expert who has experience with many different businesses and who can see opportunities for you that you cannot see yourself because your vision is limited.
Yeah.
And so the purpose of business coaching is to open your eyes to many different ways of achieving higher levels of sales and profitability faster.
This is the most important thing. Yeah.
Quais são os pontos principais, Brian, que você considera que faz a sua metodologia de business coaching ser tão única?
Well, it's very much like cooking in the kitchen with a recipe. If you do not have a recipe, you can cook for years. And most people who start businesses have no recipe. They are reactive. They react to necessity, to problems, to crisis, and they don't have a recipe for business success. But what business coaching does is it gives people proven recipes, specific things that you can do in order that bring about amazing results. Just like if you taste a dish from a master chef, you say, this is delicious, this is beautiful. When a business owner or manager learns these recipes, they can then repeat the success process over and over. So that's what we contribute, proven and practical methods and techniques that bring about improved results quickly.
O Brasil está passando agora por um momento muito intenso de expansão. Em que temas o business coaching pode contribuir com o empresário brasileiro?
Well, if you're driving a car, you have 2 main pedals. You have the accelerator and you have the brake. For many years, many countries have had their foot on the brake for political reasons and social reasons and cultural reasons. Brazil is now in a position where they are taking the foot off the brake and they can now step on the accelerator. What business coaching does is it helps business owners step harder on the accelerator so that they can achieve their goals of sales and profitability and growth much faster than they ever could before in Brazilian history. So this is the greatest time of all for business owners to be alive in the history of Brazil in hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And business coaching helps them step on the accelerator and achieve their goals faster.
Depois de tantos anos de experiência, Brian, como business coaching, com mais de 10 mil empresas trabalhadas, qual foi um caso de sucesso que você poderia compartilhar conosco de um grande resultado?
Well, I do business coaching myself with CEOs, and one of my clients in the last 3 months came to me, and he wanted to increase his business from $5 million to $10 million in 1 year, which is a big goal. And so I asked him a very simple question, is what is holding you back? What is the main reason why your business is not twice as large? And we discussed this for hours. And we finally concluded was that he had a very good product and he had a good company, but he did not have enough trained representatives to sell his product. So I said, then the limit is training excellent people. Yes. So what do they need to learn? So we determined that. And who could teach them? And he had one person who did several jobs, but one of his jobs was training. So we agreed that this person would spend 100% of his time training new people to sell the product. So they put together a training program and they began to offer it to groups of new people. And in the first 60 days, their sales went from $5 million to $7 million. They now see that they will easily hit $10 million within 1 year. And I've only been coaching with him for 5 months. So he says his own personal income will increase by more than $1 million from this one idea on focusing on training more people better to sell the product.
Wow, fantastic.
Yes. And this is very common in coaching, is that a coach will see an opportunity that the business owner did not see. And it can cause the business to explode.
Usually they are blended.
Yes, they are blinded.
Wow.
Yeah. We call it like a horse. Like a horse blind. Yes.
Yeah. O que você recomenda para o empresário brasileiro que realmente quer ter mais resultados nessa fase de expansão que o Brasil está passando nesse momento?
Well, in order to take advantage of this period of rapid growth, you need two things. You need to go fast and you need to go slow. Now you need to go
fast and slow
fast
at the same
and slow.
time.
You need to go slow in that you must do your homework and you must study each business opportunity carefully before you act. The biggest mistakes that I have made and that other business people make is we act without enough information. So going slowly to get the correct information, to check every fact. If someone says that this is a good idea or that is a good idea, do your own independent research to find out if that is true. And once you are clear that it is a good idea, then move fast and move quickly. Don't expect things to work out successfully the first time or to be easy. So you will have to get feedback, you'll have to correct, you'll get more feedback, you'll have to correct, you'll have to engage in a high level of activity. But once you've done your homework, then move quickly and keep moving.
Wow, fantastic.
Great.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian, você poderia nos dar uma dica para os empresários no Brasil que querem ser extremamente bem-sucedidos?
Yes, well, the key to being very successful is to learn more things, try more things, and persist more than anyone else. The biggest help to me and my clients has been to plan in advance. Most business owners are so busy they don't have time to sit and plan. But the great rule for success is to think on paper, write things down. And what I have learned that has been very helpful to me in the last little while is the importance of making a checklist or a list of steps for each process, whether it's a sales process or a marketing process or a new product development, and make a list of each step. And then as you go through the process, check off the steps. This helps to keep you focused and clear, and it helps you not to forget any key ideas. So people who want to be more successful, to repeat, they need to have clear goals written down. They need to make written plans for each day. And here's one idea. I call it the law of three. The law of three says that there are only three things that a business owner does that contribute 90% of all the value of his work. They contribute 90% of all the sales and profits. There's only three things. Different for each business, but easy to identify. And the way you identify the three things, the three activities for you, is you ask what I call the magic question. And the magic question is, if I could only do one thing all day long, what one activity would contribute the most value to my business? And that's usually very clear. And then you ask, if I could only do two things all day long, what would be number two? And then you ask, if I could only do three things all day long, what would be number three? And then discipline yourself to start in the morning working on those three items and work on only those three activities all day long. And this will put your foot on the accelerator of your success and enable you to move forward much faster.
Brian, em sua opinião, qual que deveria ser o princípio número 1 de qualquer empresário?
I have studied this for many years, and I have come to a very simple conclusion that really changed all my thinking about business. The simple conclusion is the dedication to producing an excellent product or service. Too many businesses are looking for clever advertising or marketing methods to sell an average product. But the very most successful businesses, large and small, are businesses that focus on the very highest quality product or service. So we say that your job is to offer a great product or service. How do you know if you are successful? Very easy test. The test is that when people consume your product or service, they say, this is a great product, this is a great service. So that needs to be the focus of everything you do, is to make customers so happy that they say, this is an excellent product, this is an excellent company. Because those are the customers who will come back again and again and bring their friends.
Yeah.
More important, bring your friends.
Yes, bring your friends, yes.
Qual a sua filosofia para ter sucesso no mundo dos negócios?
Well, I have studied this subject for 40 years, and I believe that the role of business in society is to serve customers with their products and services, to look for ways to improve the life or work of your customers. And so that business is the highest calling because it is totally devoted to serving other people to help them improve their lives. And if this is your philosophy as a business person, that all you want to do is to produce products and services that enrich people's lives, you will be very happy and you will be very successful.
It's a great mission.
It's a great mission.
Yeah. E por que você considera ser tão importante para um dono de negócio, um empresário, ter o seu próprio coach?
Well, anyone who wants to reach the top, and I always say that your goal must be to be in the top 10% of your field. And everyone starts in the bottom 10%. So how do you get to the top 10%? Well, all successful athletes have coaches. All successful people in business have coaches. Everyone who is successful realizes it's impossible to get to the top alone. You need the help and the guidance and experience of other people who have gone before you and have learned valuable lessons so that you don't have to spend many years making the same mistakes that others have made. So in the studies that have been done on business coaching, they find that the top 20% of business owners use coaches, top executives and top business owners and entrepreneurs. These people are always the most successful and the most profitable businesses, large businesses or small. Coaching has a very high payoff to the customer. What we call the coachee, the person receiving coaching, gets back 5 or 10 times the value of the cost of coaching, which makes it a very intelligent business decision.
Qual que seria uma grande ação que um empresário poderia tomar já para começar a pensar em crescer ou produzir maiores resultados na sua companhia?
Well, this is a great question. Thank you. Is the most important question that the business owner or executive can ask is, what results are expected of me? What is it that I, and only I, can do that if I do it very well will make a big difference? If I do not do it, it will not be done. But if I do it, and I do it well, it can make a big difference to myself and my company. And then dedicate yourself to completing or achieving the most important result that is possible for you. And if you'll do this every hour of every day, then you'll be one of the most productive business people in your field. You'll be more successful. And the best news of all is that when you're highly productive, you feel very, very positive about yourself.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Brian, nós da Sociedade Brasileira de Coaching sentimos um alinhamento perfeito em termos de propósito, de objetivos, de princípios, e nós temos uma honra muito grande nessa parceria. Qual a sua opinião sobre essa parceria?
Well, this is very important, but in business they say that the culture is everything, and the culture is the way people think and feel. And it's very much like a relationship, is the hearts have to be right. If the heart is right, then everything will be fine. Many years ago, I worked with the Japanese importing Suzuki vehicles into the US and Canada. And they told me something. They said they spend many hours talking with their prospective partners in order to make sure that the hearts are right. They say that you must get knee to knee, head to head, heart to heart with people before you go into business with them. And I think that our hearts are right. Wow. And that we believe and we feel the same values, the same principles, the same philosophies. So we will be very successful together.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
E além dessa parceria que nós temos em Business Coaching, nós também temos a intenção de oferecer ao público brasileiro uma série de produtos seus, como livros, CDs, programas de autodesenvolvimento. E quais seriam as características ou as vantagens desses produtos? Por que eles funcionam de verdade?
So I am a businessman, and you are saying that you would like to sell a lot of my products and services in Brazil, and you want my opinion. I would say it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think it is a wonderful possibility, a wonderful market to offer the best ideas for success in personal and business in the world today, all over Brazil. To help people achieve their goals much faster than they would in the past.
Ok. E nesse momento você poderia, Brian, compartilhar conosco um princípio de vida para as pessoas que querem ser mais felizes. Qual seria?
Well, I have been asked this question on many hundreds of radio and television shows, and I finally realized that there is one great secret to success. And it is this.
No, you can't talk. It's a great secret.
Biggest one.
Please, I'm sorry.
A secret is something that you tell one person at a time. And the secret is to do what you love to do, to find something you love, and then put your whole heart into becoming excellent at doing what you love. If you will do those things, find what you love, and then dedicate yourself to becoming excellent doing what you love, you will be happy, you will be successful, you will be honored and respected by other people, you'll wake up in the morning with joy, you'll do your work all day with joy, you'll always be happy.
Uau. Então, fazer o que você ama. Do what you love.
Do what you love and do it very well.
Okay. Brian, qual seria a sua recomendação para os nossos coaches lá no Brasil?
I have worked with coaches all over the world, and you have the best training system for coaches I have ever seen in the world today. And I say that without trying to flatter you. But all the best training systems in the world will not help unless the coach engages in high levels of activity. There is enormous potential demand for coaching in Brazil. You could never call on all the companies and business owners who need coaching. So you can never exhaust your market, but your job is to be very active. And if the most important thing you can do at this moment is to develop new clients, then you should spend 80% of your time developing new clients, picking up the telephone, making appointments, going and visiting people, asking them questions, but just be busy all day developing new business until you are so busy you cannot take any more clients.
Yeah. Agora que nós estamos encerrando esse bloco e essa entrevista, nós gostaríamos de ouvir um conselho final para todas as pessoas que querem mais resultados nas suas vidas, nas suas carreiras, nos seus relacionamentos. Um grande conselho para fechar essa entrevista.
Well, there's an exercise that I teach in my own coaching, and it's practiced by the top 10% of people in the world. It's practiced by all leaders, and I call it idealization, where you stand back and you imagine that you have no limitations and no fear, and that you could accomplish anything that you want in life. So you project forward into the future, and you say, if my life was perfect in 5 years, what would it look like? And how would it be different from today? And then what would have to happen starting today for me to create my perfect life sometime in the future? Think about your perfect income and your perfect work conditions. Think about your perfect family life. Think about your perfect health. And think about your perfect financial situation so that you have enough money working so that you are comfortable. And say, if my life was perfect and I had no limits and no fears, how would I design my perfect life? And write down a statement. And if you're married, discuss it with your husband or wife so that you both have a very clear picture of where you want to be in the future. And then what will happen is you will activate the law of attraction. You will trigger all kinds of wonderful ideas. You will have continuous motivation. You will be happy every day when you're working toward fulfilling your vision of your ideal future.
Wow. Okay. So, Brian, it's really, really an honor to be with you in your studio. Thank you very much. And we hope to see you soon in Brazil.
And I look forward to coming to Brazil.
Yeah, it was a privilege to stay here with you in San Diego, in your studios. And thank you. And I hope so see you soon. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you, Villela.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Flora.
Brian. Thank you very much.
It's a great pleasure. I will see you in Brazil.
Yeah.
I will see you in Brazil as well.
For sure.